And I don't want to delay any further. Michael Ello, from Managing Director of Century Business Consulting, should be taking over. He's the moderator, and I will let Michael take over from my fumbling and all that good old stuff. Michael, take it over, and there you go.
All right, thank you, and just letting everybody get on here. All right, looks like everybody's coming through. Great, hi guys. All right, hi everyone, my name is Mike Aiello, and I am the CEO and Managing Partner from Century, and we focus on accounting and advisory services for the cannabis industry. And I would like to invite everybody to join us on the panel here today, focused on how technology is changing the game for cannabis consumers. And that last word there, the consumer, that's really the most important part. And that's going to be our focus here today. So with that, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the panelists here today. We have Aaron Locascio, the CEO from Green Lane Holdings. We have Brian Sissel, the Senior Solutions Architect from 365 Cannabis. And we have Sean Cradle, the CEO of Pineapple Inc. So we do have limited time here today, guys, but I did want to give everyone the opportunity to introduce themselves and their company briefly. So with that, Aaron, why don't we start with you for a quick intro?
Great, thanks, Michael. Appreciate the introduction. So for those of you who don't know Green Lane is the leading global platform for the development and distribution of premium cannabis accessories and lifestyle products. Said differently, Green Lane is involved in almost every aspect of the cannabis supply chain except for touching cannabis itself, predominantly on the consumer packaged goods product side of things.
Great. Okay. Brian, why don't we go with you next?
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm the Senior Solution Architect at 365 Cannabis. And we are a robust ERP software solution that was designed specifically for the cannabis industry and the market there. I've been working with ERP solutions for 13 years in both food manufacturing and with the cannabis industry for about the past 4 years, and bridge the gap between development side of technologies as well as the process management on how to use it.
Great. Okay, Sean, over to you.
Everybody, Sean Cradle, CEO and President of Pineapple Inc. So Pineapple Inc. is a public entity, and we actually have the assets of Pineapple Express. Pineapple Express is a statewide delivery for California of cannabis products. No delivery fees, typically less than 2 hours in the greater Los Angeles area. And we also accept cashless transactions in terms of credit and debit. And we actually have the Pineapple Wellness is another division. That's a nationwide distribution of hemp and CBD only health and beauty products, pet care products, and things of that nature. As well as we have the trademark THC. And that's our in-house brand. We are a mobile dispensary, you can think of it as. However, we carry our own line, which is our THC. And we actually have that's our merchandise line as well.
Great, good stuff, guys. So let's jump into it. And I guess before we do, when I think about technology, the first thing that usually comes to mind for me is the business, the company. And I start thinking down enhancing quality and consistency. I start thinking about cost savings and efficiency. But again, today is about the consumer. And I'd say, if that's important to the business, isn't that also extremely important to the overall customer experience? And of course, the answer is yes, and I certainly think so. So with that, Aaron, I'm going to go to you here first. And what are some of the new technologies that you're seeing, and how's that impacting your business and your customers?
Yeah, great question, and appreciate the introduction. So, there's a lot that we can really unpack there, but one of the key focuses for Green Lane is really focusing on the customer experience. We have a number of different sales channels that we operate in. One of those is various e-commerce platforms. If there's one thing that we've learned through the pandemic is that digital has a very strong future in commerce going forward. So really focusing our energy and efforts on our digital platforms and how to connect more buyers and sellers together in a very meaningful and impactful way that really delivers on a high quality customer experience is a real major driver for our go forward.
Great. And Brian, how about you? In your opinion, how has technology shaped the overall customer experience?
Yeah, I feel technology is using it for ensuring consistency and quality for the customer. Customers always want to make sure they have their favorite product available when they go into the dispensaries. So using technology to manage your supply chain and the quality control factors, that way you can always be sure you have your highest demand products on the shelf.
Yeah, certainly. I don't think any consumer wants to walk into that shop or on that virtual site and not have the products on hand for them. Sean, I'm sure you have plenty of thoughts on this. How about your thoughts on technology and the customer experience?
Oh, I mean, it's fresh, especially for our main model of Pineapple Express being mainly delivery. We're working on doing a couple brick and mortar flagship stores. However, our main model is delivery in under 2 hours in most cases in LA. So technology is it's really our backbone. We have myself and my executive we all have technology backgrounds. I myself was in Intel when I was in the Marine Corps. And also I have 4 masters, 2 of which are technology, analytics, and intelligence, and the other one is privacy and cybersecurity. So we take it more or less to the next level, and especially during COVID, we were able to double and triple sales because we were able to meet that demand. We were rocking and rolling already April of 19. So when this came around, we were definitely poised to take on the challenge of people staying at home. And so with our logistics, which is implemented by my COO, Josh Eisenberg, he's a Wharton grad, very, very, very smart and tech savvy. So we developed his system to where we are geolocating folks, whether if you're in Venice Beach or whether you're over in West Hollywood. That truck is geo-tracked to your location. So once you go to pineappleexpress.com, you put in your zip code, wherever you are, that mobile dispensary is basically in a vehicle, somewhere rotating around your area. So so as soon as you place your order, you won't see perhaps what someone else sees way across the city, because you're geo-tracked to that specific vehicle. So if you're looking for a specific product, you may be able to get that in West Hollywood or vice versa. So once that's pinged, that driver is notified, and then that's how we can get to you in under 2 hours, typically under an hour, but I like to be conservative and say 2 hours. And along with that, being able to navigate through, and this is LA, so navigate through the stay-at-home order, the curfews, and also for the social injustice, and the upheaval that was going on back in June. So to navigate through all those things, you definitely have to have logistics correct and spot on, so you actually meet the customer's demand, as Brian eloquated earlier.
Yeah, those are some great points there. I guess the customer experience and just the overall evolution and change, and then everything that's changed in the world in this 2020 that we're all living through. So I guess, Brian, over to you. How has the consumer behaviors changed, and where do you think technology comes in with that?
Yeah, as Sean was saying, consumers are wanting to order online more now, so they want the visibility into, what's on hand to them, what's available to them, being able to access that not only from a website, from phone apps, ordering from the comfort of their home, or wherever they're at on their phone, looking up past order histories, even pulling up, apps, going in and drilling into the detail of, the specifics of that product, lineage, heritage of the strain or the flower that they're looking for. It's just really accessibility.
Yeah, that's very true. And Aaron, over to you. I guess
Can I piggyback real quick off of Brian, Michael?
Yeah, go for it.
And Brian, like I said, you bring up a good point in terms of consistency. So let's say, for instance, we're trying to be like more or less the Amazon model of cannabis. And I missed Prime Day too, guys. It was 2 days, and I missed it. I had a list already to go yesterday, and I said I'm going to do it today, and then I got held up in other meetings, and I woke up this morning and I lost. So, anyways, but we like to have that model, so where you have consistency, and again, this is more important for the industry as a whole, because when you're delivering, especially, we have unmarked vehicles, and they're all consistent. They're all Priuses, white Priuses. Everyone is in uniform. I'm a Marine, so everyone is like pop, 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 pop. So we have it's sir and ma'am, not hey dude, here's your weed. Here's your order, ma'am or sir. And everyone's in uniform, has a hat, and all these good things. Especially during COVID, I implemented everyone wearing hats just to keep in a little bit more hygienic in terms of when everyone's wearing gloves and all these things. We didn't have any uncertainty, so I went to go a little more conservative. But people respect, and this is the feedback we get from our consumers, is that I can always count on you guys to have the same exact service, the same time. The consistency begets results, and if you keep doing that, people will blindly use your service because you know what you're getting. For instance, I like the guest store, and I know anywhere in the world, or I can just order blindly online because their product is the same. You're not going to have a different material shirt that doesn't fit you the same way you did a year ago. That's the point, and that's what we really try to drive, to be consistent. So the consumer, you build that customer loyalty, and especially in delivery, if you've never ordered, it's an idea. It's a lot of people don't trust it. They rather go to a dispensary because they can touch and feel it. So we need to overly state our professionalism and things of that like. So sorry, I didn't want to take too much of the time.
No, that was perfect. Perfect kind of piggyback off the conversation there. And, kind of staying in that same theme, and, of course, confidence in your provider, and the customer confidence is always core. But, taking, to technology, and, Aaron, I'll go to you with this one. When you think about your tech stack and bringing new products and products advances to the market, what are your thoughts on that? And again, thinking about the customer, the consumer along the way.
So for Green Lane, first I want to say that we have, as an organization, a pretty unique perspective on the cannabis industry. Having been founded all the way back in 2005, with 15 years of industry experience, gives us a very unique perspective. I often say that, I've witnessed the evolution of the cannabis industry. I far too often hear it referred to as a revolution. And in all honesty, I believe it to be more of an evolution and a continued evolution. And what we've been able to do with the last 15 years is generate a tremendous amount of consumer data. And from that data, we've been able to generate insights into up and coming product categories, segments, new, otherwise unidentified brands that are up and coming, and really honed in our muscle, if you will, in being able to bring these products and categories to market far sooner than anyone else has, which really, again, increases the overall customer experience by delivering new and unique experiences to the marketplace. So it's pretty exciting to have seen all the advancements that we've seen and been able to identify these various trends in the marketplace. And I can see a number of new trends continuing to emerge on the horizon that we're very excited about.
Great. Brian, obviously working with ERP systems, I think we can all kind of think about the benefit to the company itself. But what are the benefits that come along that get passed on to the consumer? And, when I hear data and a lot of that stuff being tracked, I immediately start thinking about systems and technology, how we can track that and use that better.
Yeah, so with an ERP system on there, so the consumer benefits by along with the company, they get that consistent product I talked about before, having those controls, making sure they don't run out. Also by tracking metrics of the product through the entire stage. customers are able to dial down, so figure out the right settings to get them like the best yields for their product and a lower cost of manufacturing it, so they can actually lower their selling costs to the consumer, ultimately going through it that way. So, by managing that supply chain, as well as having those quality control checks, with our software, we have processes to where if something doesn't pass a quality controls test, no matter where it is in the product, we can actually stop the whole lane of that product, of that batch, no matter where it's at, whether it's an extraction or being sent out for packaging a dry flower. From that standpoint, to prevent inferior product from ultimately ending up at a customer. As well as traceability on there. With my background of food manufacturing, the traceability is hugely important to us. And if for some reason you use packaging and a packaging was contaminated, we could quickly go in on our system, being the full seat of sale, and go back and trace it to what plants it was used on, that packaging, what packaging it went into, what customers went out to, and quickly be able to notify all the customers that the product needs to be recalled. So yeah, a lot of advances there.
Great. And then Sean, I'm going to jump back to you. It's very clear that you run a tight ship and that you're very focused on the customer experience. When you think about information or data, how do you use that to evaluate a new service or a new product or just the overall customer experience?
Well, first of all, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Headset. So their numbers and their data is definitely helping in the cannabis industry. The thing is, with this industry being so, the legal side of it being so new, there's not a lot of historical data, and I'm a data guy. So it's tough to get hardcore metrics that have been cemented for time, that you can make accurate assumptions, going forward, via your executive dashboards that have presented to me. So it's more or less, you really have to do a lot more customer outreach to see, field a lot of questions, and you can formulate your own data sets until the real market data can actually supplement that to make better, accurate decisions. However, what we do in terms of we look at historical data with every vendor and what they have, and we just have to make these these calls. The beauty of it is, we work with a lot of great vendors, and we work on a lot of great terms, so where there's not a lot of because they understand the same thing, that it's kind of like we're on the job training. We're learning as we go, and trying to navigate through this industry, especially during these times. Data is, I guess, for me, it's lacking, honestly. Solid metrics, they're not up to what I would look for, especially in my previous life. I was working at United Health Group. I was a big data person for the CEO at the time, and I created all these executive dashboards. So me going from that, and you have healthcare that has lots of history and lots of metrics that you can play with and create your data sets, and make accurate future assumptions for where you want to do with marketing, or however the case may be, entering a new market, and demographic data and all these things. It's seriously lacking, and to my standards, and to what I'm used to, and I'm sure for any other straight data person. However, you work with what you got, and you have to make that data. The data is what it is, and that's how we use it.
Got it. No, that's important, and I think an evolution there and continued enhancement is always important, and that can only in the end help the customer experience. Okay. So Aaron, I'm going to shoot back to you. I jotted down a note here. We were talking about technology and advances. What are some of the technological advances to the products that you sell, that you put out there?
Sure. So there's quite a few technological advancements, but one that I'd like to highlight in particular is, there's been a tremendous uptick in velocity from users consuming their cannabis through what we call closed cartridge vapor systems. And there's a lot of technology that actually goes into vaporization products. And I've witnessed, again, 15 years of tremendous technological advancement on that front. and much more on the horizon. But most recently, I'm particularly excited about a product called Pollen Tech through our Green Lane brand Pollen Gear, which has an evolutionary ceramic heating technology that achieves some of the most consistent heat distribution that we've ever seen, which really translates to the consumer in terms of one of the most efficacious experiences with the closed cartridge vapor system. So again, very unique, very differentiated product that continues to be an evolution on vaporization overall as a technology, again, with the core focus in terms of how can we continue to improve the overall customer's experience when interacting with these products. So that's one that again, I'm particularly proud of. That product comes out of our Hermosa Beach design studio, which is hard at work on a number of other new technological advancements. Again, with the consumer in mind, that we're very excited to announce to the world in the near future.
Awesome. Brian, I'm going to shift back to you here. How does technology help to improve the quality and safety of the products that make it to the market today?
Yeah, by having strong manufacturing practices, following GMP on there, for those companies, having technology and software that can help track those practices and make sure everyone's ensuring their standard procedures for going through, really helps bring that consistent quality product through the entire lifeline. As well as going in and being able to have access to quick test results, through that process, so you can constantly test product throughout your manufacturing life cycle, and you can flag it so you can identify it at a very early stage if there's something going wrong. So that way you can make your adjustments quicker and get it, and still be able to make the corrections and get product out to the consumer in a timely fashion.
Got it. Okay. Sean, I think I know where you're going to land on this one, but what are your thoughts on quality, safety, and where that kind of comes into play with technology?
In terms of what? Say again, Michael?
Quality and safety, and any considerations with technology.
I'm sorry, I'm not fully understanding the question. Quality, safety is in regards to what?
What are your thoughts on just quality and safety overall?
Well, I mean, and it's in a past life as well. I was a quality, I was a QC supervisor, and this tracking quality, just like Brian was saying, if you really focus on that part and also with inventory, which is a big thorn in my side, because there's not just best inventory practices for cannabis. That doesn't necessarily link with the major POSs, and it's been a tough road. Whereas we're in 2020, but however, we still have to more or less manually count items, and that can produce obviously human error and shrinkage. So this is right now we're actually shoring that up. We finally, I believe it's Parcel that we're actually able to. I mean, you would think it's funny, but literally, beep, scanning is not something we can do efficiently or more or less accurately. So we're using, we're trying to use primitive systems that typically these had to be created for the cannabis industry and those POSs because they didn't exist anymore, or the typical inventory services would not want to work with the cannabis industry. So it's a lot of it's been very costly in man hours and also human error that would arise from literally counting each and every single item. We have something called inventory night, and I got to pay overtime for this because we just have to do it because the systems it's not as accurate and it's not as it's not consistent. There's bugs and things like that we were trying to work out with a lot of folks. It seems like we finally got it down. And I'm happy to say that we should be regularly and easily implementing inventory as of November 1st. So that's it's actually as small as it sounds, it's really big for us, especially my people in the facility, because it's almost like pulling an all-nighter sometimes, and but we have to make it accurate for metric and all these things. So we just have to do that. So yeah, technology is a big thing, guys. I mean, I and again, as a nerd, I'm definitely not gonna shy away from any type of thing. It's a quick personal thing is I'm not a flashy person. I don't have fancy things. I don't own one diamond or anything like that. However, I love things that plug in and light up. so which is why I love this type of panel where we can talk tech and how it relates to cannabis, because it's really going to be as the evolution. I'll take a word from Aaron there. As the evolution continues with technology and cannabis, I think these systems and everything, the industry as well, will solidify and actually solidify the industry as a whole as well, because not simply being able to do typical inventory as any other industry is just unacceptable.
Got it. Okay, good stuff. Well, guys, I'm watching the clock here. I'm kind of getting flagged down with my 4 or 5 minute warning. We've already covered so much. It's amazing. But, I'm going to send it around the room real quick for some closing remarks and also where people can find more information about your company. Aaron, why don't you go first?
Great, appreciate that. So one thing I want to close on the technology front is, another unique thing that we've been looking at. Another Green Lane brand is a brand of rolling papers called Vibes, in partnership with Berner, who's the entrepreneur behind the Cookies brand of cannabis. And since launching that product last year, we've seen a tremendous increase in our overall volumes and consumership. And all of this is happening during, all of a sudden, a global pandemic. And many people don't realize it, but the cones business is a huge market. It's estimated that as many as 3 million paper cones are consumed on a daily basis worldwide. So the market is absolutely huge. But at the same time, paper cones are largely manufactured by hand. So being manufactured by hand, you have environments where there's literally thousands of people in factory conditions relatively close to one another, which is a difficult environment to be in COVID. So one of the things that we did was we invested in a new up-and-coming automated cone manufacturing process that takes the process and semi-automates it to not only improve the quality, but it decreases the costs and improves the conditions in these facilities where they're manufactured. So we're quite proud of that. If you want to learn more information about Green Lane, you can visit us on gnln.com. And I really appreciate everyone's time today.
Great. Brian, over to you. Closing remarks. Where can we find more information?
Yeah, I'd say that one thing that I find and our customers find extremely beneficial is nowadays with technology, it's very easy to integrate multiple technology platforms, to do the analytics that Sean was talking about earlier on there, so being able to use those scanners for your inventory accounts, connect into greenhouse controls so that you can analyze measure those metrics in your greenhouses to make sure you got the good yields, going into integrating in with the cone processing that Aaron was just talking about, being able to feed that back into your ERP system so you can reduce the error and the time it takes to gather those metrics on there, and put them all together to do the analytics reportings. So I find that hugely important. And if you want to find more information about our ERP software, you can go to 365cannabis.com.
Great. Sean, I'm getting waved down here, but maybe where can we find more information about you and your company?
Absolutely. So you can go to pineappleinc.com and on Instagram, we're pineapple.pnpl or Pineapple Express Delivers, pineapplewellness.usa. I am CEO of Cannabis, and pineappleexpress.com, thc.com for right now. We're actually in the process of moving that over and doing some different things with that. So yeah, come check us out. Hey, Jason, I see him over there.
Yes. Hey, Sean. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm outstanding, brother. How you doing?
Good. I was gonna say hi. So, good stuff, guys. Good stuff, everyone. Good stuff, Michael. Thank you. Thank you for hosting. I hope it was a good event. Remember, the people are watching it live, and then we'll have it on YouTube. We'll have different videos that we'll send you guys the clips. We have about 7,000 people registered today, so expect to get a lot of interaction. It should be a good thing. So, thank you guys for this panel. I think we're headed now to the evolution of MSOs. Is that correct in the ear? Yes, they're saying that. So, you guys, thank you again. Okay, guys?
Thanks, everyone.
Checking out. Thank you, all of you. Yep. So John Najarian, I think he's going to be coming up in a second. Just want to remind you, the website's BZ Cannabis. You can sign up your email address there, and then the hashtag is BZ Cannabis. If you want to, connect, email Shelby at events@benzinga.com if you're having any problems with the